friends, it's Nancy. Welcome back to my channel, Wishes and Weeds, and back to this month's series, Harvest of Memories, where every day I'm posting a short video that includes a prompt or an easy journal embellishment or an autumn bucket list activity or even a quirky holiday celebration. So today is October 19th, which is National New Friends Day. Perfect for me because I just got some pictures printed today from my recent trip up to it's not Northern Ontario, it's Northeastern Ontario. Northern Ontario is north. But this is sort of about 4.5 hours from me. Anyway, I have pulled out 2 pages from a book. It's called Between Friends. I had to shorten or trim down the pages just a smidge. This is by Lynn Gerard, and I think it was 1994. Just double check. Yep, 1994. I just saw one with a really neat cardinal. Where is that cardinal? I'll have to remember that. Oh, there they are. That's nice. Okay, remember that for me, will you? Anyway, I also have some natural stuff that I brought back with me. This is a maple leaf that I coated in Mod Podge. Brought home some birch bark that I stripped from a dead log there. Anyway, so spent 4 days and 3 nights in the address is Combermere, Ontario. We were on Lake Kaministiquia. I've probably butchered that. And spent great 4 days and nights too, I guess, with friends Alice and Catherine and Joanne. I got a couple pictures printed today, and unfortunately the only picture that I have of the 4 of us is really pixelated. So I'm not going to be able to use that picture, unfortunately. Maybe somebody got a better shot. I don't know. That one I got from Alice, but I don't know. Maybe I did something wrong. Anyway, so I'm going to use this picture. This was taken on our last day at Madonna House. So I'm just going to trim this down a bit. And I was thinking a little bit. I do want to leave some room for journaling. I also want to point out that I stitched around the perimeter of both pages and inked the edges. So I think I'm going to go about 4.5 inches, I guess. We'll try 3.5 first, see how that goes. I started recording this before, earlier, and totally messed it up, so that's why I'm kind of ahead of the game today. I'm going to take another 1/2 inch off both directions. Maybe 3/8 of an inch. How's that? Anyway, I liked this this as a background because we were right on the water. We heard ducks. I couldn't see any, but I definitely heard ducks every morning. And we definitely had autumn foliage. Okay. I want to be able to tip this up. So I am going to back it on a piece of paper. Let me find what I want. So I just have a little piece of tea-dyed paper here. I've cut it a 1/4 of an inch bigger than the photo, and I've got a little flap there that I will use to flip it up. Let's start with a little bit of ink. Oh, not you. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of journaling on the back first before I glue it down. So I'm going to use a little bit of birch bark to frame the photo, and that will be not great for writing on. So let's start with that. I'll pause while I do the writing. Okay, I'm going to tear some strips off. See if I can peel some of the layers off without fracturing it. Anyway, did I mention it's National Friends Day? October 13th is National Friends Day. It's a day to appreciate the bonds that form between people, sometimes by chance, sometimes through shared stories, and sometimes through creative spaces like our community here on YouTube. So that's how I met all of these ladies. Catherine and I declared our crafty crushedness years ago. It was definitely before COVID, and we text at least once a day, and then Alice became aware of Catherine through my channel and started following her. And I'm not sure exactly when Joanne entered the picture. She doesn't, neither her or Alice have a YouTube channel, but I do follow Joanne on Instagram, and I have had chit chats with her, and we've actually even had some video calls because I was looking for some help with learning how to I want to peel off some of this more beigey stuff. I want it mostly gray. How to layer, like collage images and textiles, and she just does a really beautiful job at it. And so she talked me through it. Actually, this one, sorry, I'm a little stunned there for a second trying to figure this out. I hope this works. Anyway, yeah, so for people who, and I think it was Catherine that remarked on this as well, for people who in the normal course of life would never have met, we connected through our love of crafting. Oh yeah, that looks good. Good job, Nance. If you're wondering how I prepared this, I put this in a shallow dish and poured boiling water on top of it to make it flatten out. And then I dried it. I put a rack on top of it and put a heavy jar on top to sort of weigh it down, weigh the rack down, so that it would dry relatively flat. I like that. I feel like I'm gonna need to put a little fussy cut of a chippy monk or something. And, you know, they say it's harder to make friends as we age, but I would say in this situation, not at all. Not at all. I hope they all agree with me. What do you think of this so far? I think I'm in serious like with it. Ooh. So my prompt for today is to create something that speaks about friendship to you. What friendships are important in your life? All right. I'm hoping that's going to stick. I thought about doing some sewing, like just some cross stitches or something. But I think I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to see if there's a little, how big a little squirrel is. I know there is a little squirrel in here. No, I need the raccoon. We're going to get the raccoon. There was a lot of talk of raccoons while we were there. Didn't see any. But for that matter, didn't see any squirrels either. Although we did see a deer. That's another picture I should get printed. And a chipmunk. Yeah, that's going to be perfect. If you want to know more about our trip, I shared some details in a video from last Sunday, the 12th. There, go put him right there. When you're doing your page, maybe you're going to use photos of friends. You might want to layer them and, you know, write a few words beside each picture, or maybe write a quality about that person that you admire. Oh, that just cracks me up. Alice is going to love that. All right, so I'm going to glue. So this will still lift up. I'm going to add some more. I can add another picture. I mentioned Joanne, but I didn't, like I said, I don't have a picture of her. And I might leave one edge open so that I can pop in a few more things. Like I'll put that picture that I do have. That's an idea. I think I'll leave this edge open. Just want to make sure there's not a glue thread. And I can just pop that picture right in there. I was thinking about putting some, I had some lace. I had some yellow crochet lace that I thought might be nice. Back out so you can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna look for that lace. Okay, I did find it, but I put it on the other side of the paper, and I'll show you why in just a second after I get these ends tied off. straightest sewing I ever did, but see, it has this loop here, and I thought that would be a waste to put it underneath. All right, let's get this side glued down. Getting tired here holding up my arm. Okay, so thank you for joining me on National New Friends Day. If you make your own friendship photo page, I hope you'll let me have a look at it. You can share your page using the hashtag Harvest of Memories and tagging me Wishes and Weeds. So here's to new friends, old friends, and the stories that we create together. Take care of yourselves. We'll talk again soon. Bye-bye.